Manchester City versus Arsenal, arguably the biggest game in the title race, not just for Manchester City and Arsenal, but for Liverpool as well. They play first against Brighton, and if they beat Brighton, they will be top of the league. The biggest game in Arteta's managerial career to date. Last year, similar situation, similar scenario. Man City versus Arsenal, 6-pointer, title decider. Man City 4, Arsenal 1. But this is a different Arsenal. They've been there. They've learned. They've played Champions League football this year for the first time in close to a decade. And lots of people are writing them off. But today, John Stones, Kyle Walker, apparently have both been ruled out according to Pep Guardiola. Ederson won't be there. Akanji apparently is a 50-50, whether he could be fit to play, which means Rico Lewis would have to come in, which means they'd have a makeshift back four. Admittedly, it's still a very, very good back four because it's Manchester City. But Arsenal should be going in practically full strength. Let's not beat around the bush. This game, in my opinion, will be a game of chess. First 15, 20 minutes, it will be each team trying to figure out who's going to make the first move. If you're a Man City fan, you know, you want Arsenal to come onto you, to leave the space in behind for the likes of Foden, Haaland, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne making those runs. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you want Man City to come onto you so you can show how strong your defence is and you can create that space of Odegaard playing a ball through to Martinelli or Saka. It is going to be a fantastic game of football. It's set up perfectly. Liverpool play first. Liverpool win, they will be top of the Premier League. If Manchester City win, they will be top of the Premier League. If Arsenal win, they will be top of the Premier League. There is 1 point between Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City. Now, one important thing to think about this game is Manchester City played a game on the 16th of March in the FA Cup, which they won 2-0 against Newcastle in the quarterfinals, and I believe both goals were from Bernardo Silva. Now, Arsenal have not played a game. Now, this could potentially play a factor in terms of morale, in terms of momentum going into this game. They haven't played a game since the 12th of March, which will be 19 or 20 days. They would have not played a game for. Manchester City obviously won the FA Cup game, but Arsenal probably thinking we're going to this on the better of form. Arsenal have won 8 games on the bounce in the Premier League, beating the likes of Brentford, beating Newcastle, dispatching comfortably Burnley, Liverpool, West Ham, Palace and Forest. And Manchester City, I think they can be got at. I think Man City going into this game as clear favourites. I want to completely, destroy anyone who says that they're not clear favourites. They will be and should be. It's at the Etihad. Man City are very, very strong at home. They have a very, very good record against Arsenal at home. I think Arsenal have won twice there in the last decade. Man City have been there, seen it, done it in these games before. We know how good they are against the title challengers around this time of the year. But one thing I want to point out is Man City against the big 6 teams have not done too well. They've drawn against Chelsea. Cole Palmer scored. They drew against Spurs at home 3-3. They drew to Liverpool home and away. The only team out of the big 6 they've actually beaten is Manchester United. And let's not forget, they've lost to Arsenal in the Community Shield and at the Emirates. Whereas Arsenal in the big 6 have drawn to Spurs, have beaten Manchester United, have beaten Liverpool, have beaten Manchester City, and have gone to Anfield and got a draw as well. So Arsenal probably will go into this somewhat confident, looking at their recent games in the big 6, but looking at the magnitude and the surroundings of this fixture, they're probably going to be absolutely bricking themselves. The way I see this game going down, if it is 100% true and Manchester City do not have Ederson, they do not have Stones, they do not have Akanji, they don't have Walker, I think Arsenal can get the job done here. If Tottenham can go up there and score 3 goals with Ben Davies, with Emerson Royale, with Brian Hill playing with a bit of a makeshift 11. No James Maddison, a very weird team we went up there with, and we somehow scored 3 goals. And Arsenal go up there with this form they're in. I think Arsenal can get the job done. The only thing that's in the back of my mind is Manchester City, the best team in the world. They've been there, they've seen it, they've done it, they've got the t-shirt, they're the current treble holders, they're the current Club World Cup holders, and they'll probably be thinking, if we beat Arsenal on Sunday, we will win the Premier League. You look at Man City's all of their tough games. The only tough game they've got for the remainder of the season is Tottenham away. You know, Nottingham Forest away, Wolves at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home, Luton at home, Villa at home, Palace away. They'll be thinking, hang on, as long as we beat Arsenal, it's game over. I don't see a world in which Man City win this game and don't go on and win the title. I also want to flip that on its head. If the game's a draw, Liverpool go on and win the Premier League, in my opinion. And the perfect scenario, if you're a Liverpool fan, is Arsenal beat Bayern Munich, Man City beat Madrid. They obviously get each other. They are 12 rounds hammering tongs, beating two bowls of crap out of each other. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're sitting there licking your lips. You're looking at the Europa League. West Ham can easily get past Leverkusen. Liverpool could quite easily go and do a treble. They've already won a League Cup. They could do the Europa League and the Premier League. And Liverpool play Brighton. If they win, all eyes on Man City and Arsenal. If you're a Liverpool fan and they draw, that would be a fantastic scenario. Liverpool would be on 67 points. Man City would be on 64. Arsenal would be on 65. If you look at Liverpool's remaining fixtures, you know, Brighton at home Sunday, Sheffield United at home Thursday, Manchester United away, Palace at home, Fulham away, Everton away, West Ham at home. They've got a relatively easy run of fixtures. This game decides the title. If Arsenal win, dare I say it, if Arsenal go to Manchester City at the Etihad and beat them, they will win the Premier League. Like, it's such fine margins here. It's unbelievable. The game is going to have so much hype around it. I just hope it does not disappoint. I want to see end-to-end football. I want to see plenty of goals, big challenges, yellow cards, red cards, VAR decisions. I want this game to be an advocate for how good the Premier League is. Two of the best teams in the world, two of the teams in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, going hammer and tong. When it's all said and done, Man City will go in favourites, but I've just got this terrible gut feeling, this horrendous gut feeling that Arsenal are going to come out here with something. And I hope, as a Spurs fan, Man City win. Out of the three teams, I would rather them win the league. Can't stand Liverpool. Arsenal despise. Man City I'm not really keen on, but out of the three, you'd probably lean towards Man City. This game is going to have everything. And I just hope it doesn't disappoint. Also, if you're an Arsenal fan and Man City do win, you've still got to play Spurs away. Could that potentially throw you off? Still got to play Man United away. Still got to play Villa. Whereas the other two haven't really got too many other tough fixtures. Liverpool have got to play United and Man City have got to play Spurs. But Arsenal probably have the toughest of runs. If they do lose, will that be a bit of a mental hit to Arteta? We know in these sort of situations, when the going gets tough, he hasn't delivered in the past, you know. But like I said, it's a new Arsenal. Saliba will be fit this game. Last year, he wasn't. We had the likes of Rob Holding lining up in a game like this. If you're an Arsenal fan, you know, you'd want to see the best of the best. If you're a City fan, we want to see the best of the best play. It's going to be an interesting game. I reckon Man City win, but do not be surprised if Arsenal turn up to the Etihad and have their game of their lives. They cannot afford anything other than a win. No team can, out of all three in the title race this weekend, they all need to win. But the one thing I will say is, if you're Arsenal and Man City and Liverpool get out in front, you have got to be at your absolute best to go and catch them. Let me know your thoughts if you haven't already. Comment your score predictions down below, and I will see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. I am out.